morning, this is Bob Mason from FX Empire and welcome to the daily crypto tech review of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin and Ripple's XRP. We'll be looking at the MACDs, the moving averages and the day's support, resistance and pivot levels. It is Friday the 16th of October. Jumping straight into Bitcoin against the US dollar and the hourly candlesticks, slightly bearish start to the morning. Going to need to see Bitcoin steer clear of the pivot level at 11,423 to support a run at the first major resistance level, sitting at 11,668. Going to need to see another crypto rally for Bitcoin to break out from yesterday's high, 11,632. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and resistance at 11,700 to cap any upside. In the event of a breakout, got the second major resistance level at 11,828 and resistance at 11,900 to pin Bitcoin back. A fall through the pivot would bring the first major support level sitting at 11,313 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Bitcoin should steer well clear of the second major support level sitting at 11,118. Looking at the MACDs, we got a slight narrowing of the bullish histograms after yesterday's bullish cross, but nothing to suggest a bearish morning ahead. On the EMAs, we're seeing the 50 pull away marginally from the 100 and the 200, supportive of a bullish morning. So key through the early part of the morning, avoid a fall through the pivot, break back through to 11,600 levels to then bring resistance levels into play. Moving across to Ethereum against the US dollar, slightly bearish start to the morning. Going to need to see Ethereum avoid a fall back through the pivot at 376.66 to support a run at the first major resistance level sitting at 383.27. Going to need to see broad-based crypto rally for Ethereum to break out from yesterday's high that was at 381.99. So barring an extended rally through the day, expect that first major resistance level to cap any upside. In the event of a breakout, got the second major resistance level at 388.59 and resistance at 390 to pin Ethereum back. Fall back through the pivot level will bring the first major support level sitting at 371.34 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Ethereum should stay clear of 38.2% fib at 367. Looking at the MACDs, we're seeing a marked narrowing of the bullish histograms following yesterday's bullish cross, suggestive of a pullback through the morning. On the EMAs, we're also seeing the 50 narrow on the 100 and the 200, also suggestive of a bearish morning ahead. So key through the early part of the day, avoid a fallback through the pivot and break back through to 380s to then bring resistance levels into play. Moving across to Litecoin against the US dollar, it's a bearish start to the morning. Going to need to see Litecoin move back through the pivot at 49.57 to bring the first major resistance level at 50.27 into play. Going to need to see support from the broader market, however, for Litecoin to break back through to 50 levels. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and yesterday's high that was at 50.26 to cap any upside. In the event of a breakout, the second major resistance level at 50.95 and resistance at 51 to pin Litecoin back. Failure to move through the pivot, bring the first major support level sitting at 48.89 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Litecoin should stay clear of the second major support level sitting at 48.19. Looking at the MACDs, got a bearish cross at the start of the morning, suggestive of a pullback through the morning. And on the EMAs, we're seeing the 50 narrow on the 100 and the 200. So key through the early part of the day would be to move back through the pivot and return to 50 levels. Failure to do that, and you got sub 49s into play. Keep an eye on the MACD and the moving averages. That 50 EMA, a crossover through that 100, and then you're looking at sub 49s and support levels. Finally, looking at Ripple's XRP against the US dollar, bearish start to the morning. Going to need to see Ripple's XRP break through the pivot at 24.64 to bring the first major resistance level sitting at 0.2499 into play. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Ripple's XRP to break back through to 0.249 levels, however. So barring extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level to pin Ripple's XRP back. In the event of a breakout, got the second major resistance level at 0.2538 that will likely limit any upside. Failure to move through the pivot, got the first major support level sitting at 0.2425 and it will come into play. Barring an extended sell-off, expect Ripple's XRPs to avoid sub 0.24s. Second major support level sits at 0.2391. Looking at the MACDs, we got a slight widening of the bullish histograms, suggestive of an upward move through the early part of the day. Not quite the same story on the EMAs, however. We got the 50 pulling back from the 100 and the 200, and the 100 on a bearish cross through the 200 there, suggestive of further downside for the day following the last 2 days of heavy losses for Ripple's XRP. So failure to move through that pivot level would bring that first major support level at 0.2425 into play.